Hey YouTube, this is going to be an intro to the last remaining video that I have recovered from the old days, the before. It's the one on my altcoin position, which might not be so relevant right now because nothing really matters. What you're holding with alts right now, Bitcoin is taken front and center, along with overall market sentiment in, globally. There's a lot of fears about the C word coming back, and it's not the one that rhymes with runt. It's the other unmentionable, and that's spooking a lot of people. So a lot of things are in the red, and that's not surprising. I've been saying for a while that Bitcoin looks weak, and I've been expecting the dump. And right now we are currently under $30,000, and we're hovering here. It wasn't a quick wick down and bounce back up recovery. I actually think we're still going lower. Like I had said previously, I have made some preparations to have cash available to buy. I am not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence, do your own research. Not recommendations on any actions that you should take, but I have my finger on the buy button if I see around 28, and I'm expecting maybe even as low as 26. If it goes lower than that, still wouldn't surprise me, but I see it as less likely targets. So I have no problem buying at 28 to 26 if Bitcoin goes down to 24 and then bounces back up on the road to recovery to 100 plus K. That's just what they call a rounding error at that point. That's nothing. So I'd rather secure the buy and actually not miss the boat before Bitcoin bounces. When it hits the actual true bottom, I think it will be a quick recovery from the bottom. I don't think it's going to be a quick recovery back up to 60 or 80, 80,000. I just think it's not going to stay at the bottom for very long, and that's generally how it happens. So I don't want to risk missing that. Anyways, that's the Bitcoin news. And another headline that I think is worth mentioning that's kind of touching base with BlockFi, which I have done some videos on, is there's some stupid lawsuit that New Jersey is looking to tell BlockFi to cease and desist getting new customers, which honestly, the whole thing sounds ridiculous to me. I don't think that's going to affect anybody anywhere. I don't even think it's going to affect people in New Jersey, really, to be honest with you. I'm like, it's just stupid FUD. And there's a lot of other stuff going on too, just not really worth mentioning. Really, like I said, the price action that's gonna make me take action is gonna be this last leg down and then the recovery, and that's when I'm gonna start getting more interested in making more videos about Bitcoin specifically. My future videos coming out, there's still gonna be some other things, still touching on Bitcoin. But I got some ideas for some future videos coming out here soon. I just have to wait on a few moving parts. And honestly, like I said, I'm still struggling for viewership. So I don't know who's seeing these videos. And it's a bit demoralizing. So continue to leave me the comments and the likes, those 2 to 3 people who regularly are supporting me. I've even taken some desperate actions to help further some membership recruitment. Those of you who know what that is, please do not speak of it to anybody. It's very desperate, but we'll see. Maybe it'll pay off. Who knows? All right, enjoy the old video. Like I said, this is a re-upload, so I don't know. Anything time sensitive in there, don't pay attention to. I think the one thing I would say that's relevant to the video is I am still actually buying Crow. I love Crow. I cannot tell you how much I love Crow. More and more and more, the longer this thing goes and is underappreciated, the more I love it. And I'm actually continuing to buy more and more, almost dollar cost averaging, just the same as Bitcoin. It is. I am just so excited about everything that's developing with crypto.com. So that is not changed for me. My crow position is getting larger and larger, and I'm happy to hold on to it for a year or two, 3 years. If it goes nowhere for 3 years, I'm just continuing to take advantage of my DeFi accumulating interest and just developing more and more pro. So, yep, enjoy the video, and I don't know. I need another, yeah, wubba lubba dub dub. Hey YouTube, a little bit of a different video today. I don't know if you can tell, but she's trembling like a leaf. I think maybe there's some thunder going on in the distance or something. But one of the suggestions that I had recently from a viewer was to get a better webcam, and that my phone probably takes better video than my computer. I have a pretty decent phone. So let me know what you think. Is the improved quality worth the trade-off for the handheld angle? I figured I would do this today anyways because she's in my lap, and setting up anything else would be a little bit difficult while I'm trying to calm her down. With that being said, today's video, I wanted to touch on a few things. I'm actually feeling a little under the weather today, so I haven't prepared too much, but I felt like making a video, and so thank you for all of those who are watching. It would mean a lot to me if you liked the video and left a comment. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Don't forget, if you didn't know, I'm offering $25 good to new subscribers. Just let me know. Send me your wallet address. And if you don't know what good dollar is or have a good dollar wallet address, then there's links in the description for good dollar and a whole bunch of other services that if you use the sign up for any of the services, we both get free crypto. So that's pretty cool. And that being said, we'll go to the Bitcoin price, which looks about $33,000. It's still looking weak to me, obviously. We are ranging up and down. There's still a battle being fought, and a lot of people are thinking that it's always go time for some people, you know, and I can't blame them. I don't know if maybe they're trying to be clickbaity or if they are just permabulls, because I'm a permabull. I still think it's going like $250,000 a coin by the end of the year. But that being said, the short-term price action, I'm not sold on one direction or the other. Moving on, I would like to do this video today on the request that I had recently for altcoins and what my selection process is, and if I can edit this appropriately. I'm going to go ahead and put a screenshot of my current altcoin holdings and my biggest, not my average, but my biggest purchase price when I started the positions. Now, so yeah, that's just the altcoin and the initial purchase price, the biggest initial purchase price. Now, I don't want to really put my size, my position size on there. but I'm gonna follow that up with some honorable mentions. I actually, just because I don't hold certain altcoins doesn't mean I don't want to. I've kind of been in and out of some with the markets the way they were, and trying to reallocate some money to certain things, and just like I said, being in and out. If I had enough money to spread around, I'd probably buy just the top 100 altcoins as a small position in everything, and seeing what sticks. But here is some honorable mentions that I had held at some point, I would like to hold again. And so with that being said, I actually forgot, I don't know if I mentioned, my holdings are actually listed in order of the size of the portfolio. Not the size is not indicated, but the percentage, much like your nutritional content breakdown of ingredients, the largest is at the top, the smallest is at the bottom. And that also is not indicative of the necessarily the amount I want to hold. It's just, like I said, moving some things around and never finding some footing again. My altcoin plays have not been perfect. I've had some very good, very lucky buy-ins, but I have made some bad decisions as well. Notably, you might notice that Sanshu Inu is my second largest holding for my altcoins, and I did not plan on holding that for very long. So you'll also notice ETH is relatively low, and that's because I made a mistake that I guess a lot of traders make, and I missed the train on Doge because I was too proud to touch it, and I was positive that that train was going to crash. And I had many friends make a lot of money on Doge, and then I started trading with my emotions, and that's something I know you shouldn't do, and I did it. And so when the rest of the dog degen altcoins started to get released, and initially were doing very well because Bitcoin was doing very well, I FOMO'd in quite a bit of my ETH into Sanshu Inu. And so maybe there's a chance for recovery there, maybe not. We will see. Anyways, it's too low now for me to care about selling, and I won't put an actual price tag on the potential downfall, how much I lost, but it was substantial. It is substantial. Well, so with that being said, I'll just go over some of the altcoins. Like I said, Pro, I've touched base on crypto.com already. I am still very, very bullish about the company. So they are my largest altcoin holding. Even when I had my full ETH position, I still had more Pro. In fact, before I bought Sanshu, I sold about 90% of my ETH for Pro. So there you have it. Still very bullish on it. I think they're going to do very well once some things in the markets recover. Sanshu, touched on that. ADA. So to be honest with you, the rest of these altcoins here, I have been following. I like a lot. My initial purchase prices were pretty good, but like I said, to be honest, that was back in the day when I was just kind of throwing things around based on some suggestions I was hearing. I didn't really know too much about the projects. I didn't even know, like, you know, if I were to talk about these coins individually, I would touch on like what purpose they're trying to fulfill. Like ADA is obviously in competition with ETH because it's trying to fulfill the whole decentralized thing, and so, you know, there's a lot of dynamics in play like that, and I had no idea what was going on with any of the altcoins. I just bought on some suggestions. I think I've even been in XRP on the same thing. I've been in that, and I hold a very very small position of a lot of other altcoins actually, just because of Aircoins, that app that I had also done a video on. So that I have amassed many altcoins in there, and still unable to withdraw. So I'm not even bothering to put those into my portfolio, since if you can't get it out, you can't. It's not yours. Although supposedly that's still coming. Link. So yeah, ADA, Link, Matic.bnb. You know, I don't think I'm going to go over each of them independently, because each of these coins could be a whole video in its own right. So I think I'll just say, one of the questions was, how do I choose the coins, and what's my thought process there? Do I have target prices, kind of stuff like that? And so now, before I was stumbling into things, sometimes I made some actual calculated maneuvers. Now my process is more or less to, you're always going to want to consider what the actual market cap is. That's basically the overall, all of the money that's invested in that project. Very small market caps have potential for very large movements, because one tiny thing can set a whole lot of investors FOMOing to purchase it some, and that's when you see a lot of these huge percentage gains. With that being said, they are usually small market caps because they're very, very speculative. They haven't gotten very far on their journey to doing what they want to do. Can you tell she's still shaking? I guess I don't have to edit a video in of her today because she's featured. She's making my camera shake. And so yeah, that's always a consideration. What their goal is a consideration. Oftentimes you can read the white paper, try to get an idea of what their project is aiming to do, and get an idea of the team, the development team behind it. Obviously, if there's a known scammer or somebody who's involved in 16 different projects that are all failing, probably something you don't want to invest a whole bunch of money into. Other things to consider are, just the other things that the other spaces that they're competing with. So like I had mentioned, ADA, ETH, BNB, they're all kind of in the same space, and they're all doing relatively well. But they do compete against each other, and that's always something to consider. What else? I'm gonna hit pause and think. Actually, I really didn't plan this video out as well as I had promised you I would. Sorry. Maybe not much else to say. I don't want to make this too long of a video anyways, like I said. But things to consider, like when to sell. Altcoins, really, I don't actually view them as investments. I view them as trades, and that's not mine. I think I forget where, but I've gotten that from somebody else, where Bitcoin is the only investment I have, and every other coin is a trade. And I got in with a plan to get out, and ultimately buy more Bitcoin. And my plan for this cycle was to sell at the top. Duh, you want to buy low, sell high. And generally, altcoins tend to peak a little bit after Bitcoin. And so my thinking was, if Bitcoin cycle peaks sometime around the end of this year, usually altcoins can run for a little bit longer before people really realize the rug's being pulled, and then everything crashes down. And so if, for instance, we are still going to see a nice run up with Bitcoin by the end of the year, altcoins should follow, and I would start selling off my altcoins. And I guess maybe another video could talk about strategies on exit strategies, but I don't ever actually just all sell at one chunk. Just like you can dollar cost average into a position, you can dollar cost out of a position, and so you can sell chunks off at certain profit levels. And that's what I would probably do if we were to see a run up in Bitcoin at the end of this year. There are some theories being thrown around that we're in some sort of super cycle, or maybe we're going to see a very long and drawn out bull market that takes much longer to peak, and this action we're seeing now is just a lull in that very long overall trend. I don't know, there is so much going on, and you can look at the history of the price action, but that gives you an idea of what's happened in the past, and not necessarily what's going to be happening now or in the future. You can look at the entire history of Bitcoin, the price action, but never in the price action of Bitcoin has a sovereign nation like El Salvador declared it to be currency, legal tender. So, fundamentally that should change the game going forward. And at some point you would expect price action to catch up to that. Of course, there's always manipulation in the markets, and the saying is that the markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent, and I have also learned that lesson. Well, I've never been liquidated on anything, but so just generally speaking, I guess I'm rambling on to say I don't know, and I think that's fair, because honestly nobody really does, and if they say they do, they're lying to you. And if I don't get more followers soon, I might start that strategy as well. Just joking, but yeah, I don't know. But generally, good idea to look at start de-risking and selling off some altcoins into either stable coins or Bitcoin, wherever you think Bitcoin's peak might be. And that would be something that you would have to decide. With that being said, hopefully this video was informative, helpful. Let me know, guys, leave some comments. Why do you think Ian is so scared? Do you like the camera angle? Is the quality better? Is the sound better? I don't even know that. Probably this file size is going to be huge, so I hope my computer doesn't burn up trying to render this. We'll see. This is a fun experiment. Alright. Next video. Look forward to it. Don't know what it's going to be. Leave me some suggestions.